right, guys. So this is going to be a shameless ad. I'm going to be advertising my services as a homeopathic practitioner, and I'll tell you why you should choose me. First, I'll tell you why you should choose homeopathy as your healing modality, and then I'll tell you why you should choose me out of the millions of homeopaths that you can find on the internet. So let's get into this. So yes, this is an ad. I don't know how YouTube and Odyssey treats that. I don't really care. And first off, let's start with contact information, maybe. So if you listen to this or you watch this and then you want to get in touch, the Telegram is on the bottom of this video. But if you click on my About page on YouTube, on Odyssey, you can find all the contact details like, email, Signal Messenger. I'm not sure what else is there, but I'm sure you can find a way to contact me that's convenient for you. So the first question is, why choose homeopathy? So basically homeopathy is the queen of alternative medicine. It's scientific, and there's no beating around the bush. Okay, so when you are prescribed a homeopathic remedy, and basically you are your body, your immune system and everything is in a like not a disastrous condition, but like an okay condition, and you are prescribed a homeopathic remedy. In homeopathy, after the correct homeopathic remedy, we expect full recovery, okay, after the first dose of the correct homeopathic remedy. We expect a regenerative process of the whole so-called organism, okay? Homeopaths call it the organism, which is the body. So homeopathy is the only healing modality that is like that. So if you go to an energy healer, if you go to a whatever, it's not in the discipline itself that you are expected to make a full recovery, right? I'll give you some energy, you feel a little bit better, your asthma is a little bit better, maybe. But it's not like there is no rule book for energy healers that you are required to make a full recovery, right? And so there are no expectations. You just go there and whatever happens, happens, okay? So homeopathy is not like that. It's part of the theory that you are expected to make a full recovery. Okay, that's how you should attend a homeopathic consultation. And homeopaths don't tell you that, of course, like all the bad ones, they don't tell you that. Because they are, hedging their bets. They don't want you to know that they suck, right? If you haven't made a full recovery, they got the remedy wrong. This is why you should choose homeopathy. That's a very big reason. It's the only healing method with a history of a 200-year history. So 200 years ago, 100 years ago, I agree with kind of like the conspiracy theorists that the world was very different. And there was a kind of reset of the world. So 200 years ago, 100 years ago, there were universities, homeopathic hospitals in the Wild West. Like a large proportion of doctors were homeopathic doctors. So it has a history, and you know, uh, you can't have homeopathic hospitals if homeopathy doesn't work, or it's not a very serious scientific method, because then everybody in the homeopathic hospital has to be crazy, and in the government who allow that. Anyway, okay, let's move on to why you should choose me. So I am one of the few homeopaths that is compassionate and will explain homeopathic theory to you, even along the way, not just as a sales pitch. Most homeopaths, especially the famous ones, don't give a shit about you. They don't care about you. They're gonna be distant, cold, and they subscribe to the medical principle where you're not allowed to get involved in the emotional part of the whole transaction of healing someone. And of course, a lot of the famous, the top homeopaths are celebrities. And as you know, I don't know if you've ever talked to celebrities, they don't care about you. Okay, the politicians don't care about you. The elite doesn't care about you. So you can go to these people, but they don't give a fuck about you. You can go to Rajan Sankaran, and he doesn't give a shit. So I'm the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm not gonna say I'm the only one. It wouldn't be appropriate. I'm sure there are some other homeopaths who actually give a shit about you, who's actually compassionate, and is gonna explain homeopathy to you, like I just did with the correct remedy, 100% recovery, etc. Right. So another example of that is that I will try to find the correct remedy for you, as I said, which is expected to induce 100% recovery. But for instance, if I don't find the correct remedy on the first try, and you don't get better, I'm not gonna just disappear. What's gonna happen with most of the other practitioners? They're just gonna disappear. They're not gonna keep trying to crack your case. They're just gonna disappear. You're gonna have to keep calling them, and you might get a hold of them, and then they're gonna say, "Give me another $500." So if I don't find the correct remedy for you, I will tell you that I was unsuccessful, and that I'm willing to look for another one. I'm willing to try to crack your case, and I will not charge you for that, or at least for the first few tries. Like, I don't know, 3 or 4 tries, definitely not. If I haven't found your remedy after 3 or 4 tries, then you are a very difficult case, which does happen in homeopathy. And in that case, I will still not give up. Most homeopaths would give up on you at that point. I won't give up, and I will, maybe after 3 or 4 tries, I will ask for further payment. But most homeopaths are just gonna disappear. Okay, why you should choose me as a homeopath, as your homeopath? There's so many reasons. I'm not an Indian. Okay, I'm sorry. This is gonna be really, really offensive. But I have to, I have to be on, I have to, like, it's crazy what's happening. If you go on Google, 90% of the search results are from India. And India is the home country, is the country of scams, the country of, it's a horrible country. And yes, homeopathy is prevalent in India. Yes. There are good homeopaths in India. Yes, probably there are. But it's like the majority of them I wouldn't trust at all, at all. And they don't speak proper English. They don't. Indian academic culture. All the universities have no standards. Most of them, except for the elite ones. You're making a really big mistake trusting Indian homeopaths. You're not. Most of them, you're not even going to be able to talk to them. Not just because of the English. They can't talk logically, and they can't. Well, go talk to them and see what they're like, right? Just go talk to them. All right. Also, I am not one of the eclectic homeopaths, so I'm just talking about why you should choose me as your homeopath. I'm not one of the eclectic homeopaths. Like, if you take a look at like the British homeopathic scene, like a lot of them, of course there are good homeopaths in England. Yes, that is true as well. But a lot of them are, like the so-called eclectic. And if you don't know anything about homeopathy, you might just find, come across one of those, and your healing is guaranteed to fail if you consult with one of them. Like, if you don't know who the eclectic homeopaths are, it's like I don't know, 60% or whatever of English homeopaths are like, they have no methodology, and they just give a remedy which is not based on anything. It's just like a random gut feeling, or or some kind of random thing. Like, they studied astrology, so they give you a remedy based on your star sign or something. Anything. It could be anything. Or like facial analysis, which is not part of homeopathy. They're just going to do some random thing and then give you a random remedy, and it's guaranteed to not work. So that's like the eclectic, and also like the modern French homeopaths giving multiple remedies and all that bullshit. There's an enormous amount of bullshit, and it's really bad. So I'm not one of those people. Like, I'm one of those. I'm one of the homeopaths who practice according to like how they practiced homeopathy 100 years ago, even 200 years ago, even like how the founder practiced homeopathy. That's how I approach it. So, yeah, I think that's enough. If you would like to, as I said, if you would like to get in touch, I have all the contact details in the About section on YouTube, Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, and the cost of the consultation is 100 euros, dollars, or British pounds. So thank you so much for listening, and feel free to get in touch.